Hi everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. In today's video we are talking all things Amazon, everything that I've purchased in the last couple of months. I haven't done one in a while and I just wanted to give you an update on some things that I've purchased that I've really been loving. It may be a little all over the place, but just bear with me. Some things have just been necessity for me to purchase, others were just to elevate my space a little bit. But anyway, let's just get started. First, I'm going to start with maybe some personal hygiene and bathroom items. And the first item is this exfoliator. In one of my previous Amazon videos, I featured a item, something similar to this, but it was actually a massage scalper. And I love that thing. I just get in there and I just feel like it cleans my scalp. It's something that my hands, I just hate my fingers digging into my scalp, that type of thing. That scrubber, I'm going to leave it linked below, but that scrubber is fantastic. This is an exfoliator and ingrown hair remover. I don't really struggle necessarily with ingrown hairs, but I do self-tan, and this has worked really well to help sort of get in there and remove the self-tanner. I do have a couple of other items that I use to exfoliate regardless if I'm self-tanning or not. But this item is so soft on your skin. And listen, in the areas that you may have some issues with ingrown hairs, it really may be beneficial to pick this up because it just has some nice silicone bristles. Feels really good, but it has really worked really well for exfoliating. Fortunately, I can't speak necessarily on the ingrown hairs, but from what I hear, the reviews, it's a really great item. And it just fits like right in the crook of your hand and you can just get in. And I just love it. It feels so good. It's not abrasive, such as some exfoliating mitts and such that can be really, truly harsh on your skin, or even like a dry brush. If you're a dry brush girl like I am, you know, sometimes it hurts. I mean, it's a good hurt, but it still hurts nonetheless. This here is really nice. I'm glad I picked it up. Apologize for the lighting. You know the story. It's, you know, sun in and out. Anyway, I have really been enjoying this, and it's really worked well for helping me to remove some dead skin and the self-tanner. I will point out that I do need to also use another exfoliating mitt to really get deep in there, but this just helps somewhat with removing the self-tanner but also the dead skin. So I have really been enjoying this. Okay, next up is one of those random items. This spray bottle is like none other. It is perfect if you just want to spritz on your plants. I've used it for that. I have a heavy hand when I'm watering my plants, and I found that this has really helped me. I hope you'll be able to see, are you able to see just that continuous spray? It is wonderful. Use it for if you just want to wet your hair a little bit. I keep getting myself wet. I hope the camera's picking that up. But it's beautiful. You don't have to keep pumping. Just one press of the nozzle and it is fantastic. Like I said, perfect for hairstyling, for watering your plants, and just cleaning products in general. I just keep it filled with water at the moment so I can go and spray my plants, or if I need to wet my hair a bit. I haven't put any cleaning products in there, but it can be used for that. And it's just, do you hear that? I mean, it's just perfect. I don't know what kind of mechanism is in there, but if you're in need for a true spray bottle, this is the one for you. I will say my plants have been loving that I'm not overwatering them, and they're thriving. Next up, this may be, you know, this is one of those items where it's truly not necessary, but I just wanted my bath soaps in my kitchen and my bathrooms to be all cohesive. I just picked up these, it comes in a set of 3. It's just a plain bottle that you can fill with anything. I haven't tried it with, say, shampoo or conditioner or anything. I just use it for my hand soap. I do love scented soaps, but I don't necessarily always like the prints on them. So this here is just all cohesive throughout my house. I fill them up, I put them on my counters, and it just feels like it's elevated my space a little bit. As bougie as that may sound, it holds a lot. I haven't had one issue with the pump clogging with any of the soaps that I've had. I've really liked these. I just think it looks nice on my countertops. So I just wanted to share those because I have been enjoying them. Next up, I have these little powder puffs. Love the shape of them. They come in a pack of 12. And what I love about these is that I can get under my eye, even just to blot, not necessarily to lay the powder down, but just to blot has been really helpful. It's also nice if you're applying makeup. You know, you don't want to put your hand over your blush if you're one that does your eyes after your face. You know, it's nice just to put it on there and then you can work on your eyes without your fingers touching your face. I've just really been loving these. They're really soft. It does have a little loop here that you can put your fingers through and just go in and powder away or just blot away. They come in black and nude in the 12 pack, but they're just so nice for those of you who use loose powder. Laura Mercier is the first loose powder that I ever used, and she has a powder puff and it's circular. I still keep them, I still use them, but these are so nice and compact and really just get in under the under eyes, and they're just really nice to work with. So I can't say enough about these. If you're someone who does use a powder puff and or if you use powders in general, this really makes for a nice, you know, see how it just goes around the face, just nice and compact instead of the, like say the Laura Mercier or any of the other powder puffs that are rounder and a little bit thicker. Really very helpful. I don't know how many of you use an all-in-one blow dry brush such as this. Maybe you've had the Revlon one such as me, who's had it for a long time, but I'm not gonna lie, it does get really hot, and there's been many reviews on them and just how hot they get and the hair breakage. And I certainly have hair breakage, but I also bleach my hair, so I don't know which way to, you know, who to blame for that, maybe just myself. But the Revlon one has lasted me a long time, but I just wanted to change it out because it was getting a little too hot for me, and I knew there was probably other brushes out there that would work better. I really do want to try the Dyson. I just don't want to pay the Dyson price. I know there's another one from Dry Bar, but I just wanted to try this one. I picked this up. It is from Conair. It's their Infinity Pro, the Knot Doctor. And please, I'm not going to show you too close up because I do have hair in there, and I know that's really gross, but I didn't have a chance to clean it. But what I like about this barrel, if you can see, can you see this barrel is different than the Revlon one, is more round. This is more of an oblong shape. And what I like is it can really get in and add a lot more volume to my hair. In addition, it comes with this piece. This pops off. You put this one on. So it just pops on like this, and you can get under here and it really just lifts and adds volume. I didn't use this on my hair today, this piece. I did use the round brush for it, but I have found that up at the top and in the crown area, it does actually really help just to give me a little bit more volume, especially if I have, you know, if I use some hairspray, it does give some more volume. I'm not quite sure why I didn't use it today. Probably should have. So if you are in the market for another round brush, I highly recommend this. Here comes the rain. I do recommend this. I think it's a better option than the Revlon one, even though I've used it for years. You know, it was one of those situations where don't fix what's not broken, but in actuality, it really was broken because it was breaking my hair. So there's that. Finally got a new one. I'm really happy I did. I might at some point try the Dyson. Let me know in the comments down below if any of you have the Dyson. Do you find that it's worth the price? Let us know. In the meantime, I really am liking this. Next up, I think my dental hygienist is going to be very happy with me. I picked up this. It's this Waterpik water flosser. I don't know how many of you use a water pick. I had one a couple of years ago. It broke. I never replaced it. So I am really particular about my teeth. I really take pride in taking care of them, as I'm assuming most of us do. However, your regular flosses, whether you use the dental thread or the actual picks, they just don't do the work like a water pick does. This one is really compact. It has the settings pressure here. I usually keep it around 4 or 5. It also has a number of different heads for, you know, flossing, plaque removal. There is a tongue cleaner that comes with some of the models, so just watch that if that's something that you're interested in. This one doesn't, but I know there are other models out there that do. So there's a number of different heads for it. Holds 21 ounces of water. I like the way it just fits so nicely in here. So this wire isn't hanging all around and getting all messed up. But what I do like about it is you have the on and off switch here, but it also has an on and off switch on the actual head. So you can turn this off and not have to fumble when you're finished and fumble around and try to get to this and everything's going all over the place. I know my other one didn't have this, and I've really found this to be really helpful and useful, and it keeps my area much cleaner. Everything's not spraying all over the place. So it's nice that it has an on and off. This just ejects the head, and you just put it back in, and you have nicely flossed teeth. And then in here, it holds 2 heads. I am beyond happy with this purchase. This is a necessity. It's not a luxury, that's for sure. It's not bougie at all. It's amazing when you think you have flossed your teeth really well and then you go ahead and use this afterwards. Still, there's so much that comes out, and there's really nothing like a water pick. If you've been on the fence about purchasing one, I highly, highly recommend. That is a must. Any water pick, but I've really been enjoying this one, and it's worked very well for me. I can't wait to go back to the dentist. Well, that's overly exaggerated, but I really can't wait to go back to my dentist, and I know she's going to be very happy that I have one. But I'm curious to see if she's able to notice the difference. Okay, so this may be one of those where you're like, okay, Joni, really? But I really have been very happy with it, and it's worked really well in my bathroom. We have this holder, little decanter with a cup. The cup lies on top, and I have this filled with my mouthwash. Nothing against people who keep their mouthwash in the container on their countertops. I've done it before myself. I've since actually have put it, I leave it under my sink. But this, especially with the water pick, has been so useful for me to leave on my counter. It's not obtrusive, it's very sleek, it's not an eyesore, I guess I want to say. You can also fill this with water, keep it on your nightstand, and just have your water sitting in there, which is also a nice look as well. I know it may be overkill, but it really has been working out so nicely. I really love it. I'm happy that I went that route, because going under the cabinet or just leaving my mouthwash container on the counter, it was too bulky, but also I just didn't like the way it looked. So that is the alternative, and that fixes the problem for me. Speaking of water bottles, I've mentioned this water bottle before. It is a time-stamped water bottle, which I should be drinking some. Although I do drink a lot of water throughout the day, this is one of those items where it's almost like a challenge, and it keeps you totally on par with your water intake. Highly suggest this. It holds 32 ounces of water, 8, and then it goes down hour by hour. I just wanted it, it's sitting right here, so I did want to just mention it coming off of water bottles and stuff. This I have with me at all times. It really is perfect, and psychologically I play a game with myself, and I like to see how much water I can drink. But I've had this for quite some time now, and I have featured it before. The next item, for all of you cooks out there, I'm sure most of you have this in your kitchen. I did have one, but I'd be embarrassed to show it to you. It was in need of a replacement, and that is a splatter guard. This item has been such a lifesaver. This item has saved my stove so many times. If you're cooking with oil and it's splattering, you know, it's a safety issue. You don't want anything burning your face or getting in your eye or anything. And this item really has done the trick for me. I'm so glad I replaced it. My old one was very old, really just not a good look. This is for a 13-inch pan. They do say to use this side down so it sits really nicely on top. Not all the time am I using a 13-inch pan, and I'll just lay it on top and it works perfectly. It's sturdy, it's not bendable. Like, there's some real substance to this one in comparison to my old one. So I've really been loving this, and I'm so happy I got a new one. One item I'm going to show you is somewhat fashion related, although I am going to do a complete video on Amazon fashion, especially with fall coming up. I want to do a full Amazon fashion video. Stay tuned for that. That will be coming soon. But I did want to show you these shoes that are from the Amazon brand, The Drop, and they are just so adorable. I haven't worn them outside, I'll be honest with you. I've only worn them around my house, but they really are comfortable. They have a nice padding, and it goes throughout all the way inside. I don't even know, maybe you can even see it right there. But I just love the color tone. I know I'm going to get a lot of wear out of these. And look at that kitten heel. It's the perfect height if you are not someone who is into, you know, stilettos or 3 or 4 inch heels, which quite frankly, you know, 3 is my max at this point. And these are just a classic look. I think they're so pretty, giving off little designer vibes here, but beautiful. I just wanted to show you those because I did just recently get them, and they do have a suede, faux suede, but aren't they adorable? Okay, so next up I have this over the sink colander. I don't keep it over the sink at all times. I do put it away. However, it's so easy just to be able to pull out from the cabinet and put it in my sink, and when I come home from grocery shopping, whether I'm washing produce or fruit or whatever it is that needs cleaning, I can just put it in here and give it a good rinse, and it can just settle in here and just dry nicely. It's just been so helpful. And you know, I do have bigger colanders and that type of stuff, but this just seems to, you know, you don't have to put it in your sink, it just sits over it. And it's one of those that I have really been enjoying having. The color scheme, not necessarily my colors. As you can see, I have more red accents. However, you all know my love for pink anyway, so it's all good. And I wanted to show you that I've been loving this as well. And there it is on my kitchen counter. Here you can see it in my sink. There's my other bottle. I did just get this as well, this under cabinet paper towel holder. While I don't love the look of it per se, I just like the fact that it was off my countertop. It's held up. I've had no issues with it. I didn't have to screw it. It came with a really strong adhesive. Again, I don't love it sticking out under the cabinet, but it was bothering me on my counter because it was getting all dusty as I was pulling it off the roll, and it was driving me crazy. So far, no complaints. And for those of you who have been following me for a while, I had a magnetic knife holder that I just loved, but at a certain point it just kept falling and falling, and I just couldn't get it to stick onto the tile the way it had. So I went ahead and I bought an in-drawer knife holder. However, I still have the magnetic one, and I'll show you here. It holds all of my knives very nicely, and you can just pull them out and then they slide right back in. Here's the magnetic one. I kept it here just to hold the bigger ones that wouldn't fit in this one. It's a little bit harder to take out, so if for whatever reason I go to grab a knife and this slides out or something, you know, I'm happy that it has the magnet that's holding it in place. that's my new knife organizer. Really been liking that. I did like the magnetic one, but it wasn't liking me, so I had to do something different, and the knives in the drawer really worked out for me, so I'm happy with that purchase. So that does it for today's Amazon random things I'm loving, things you didn't know you needed. Please leave a comment down below and let me know what you have enjoyed. Let me know down below if there's anything here that you are interested or didn't know you needed. Love to hear all the comments and read them. I really appreciate the engagement. Please hit the like button, subscribe, follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Not that I do a whole lot on TikTok yet. I'm trying, but Instagram I'm a little bit more active on. Thank you all so much for supporting me. I appreciate it. I hope you are enjoying what's left of summer. Some of you, I'm sure, have kids going back to school or grandchildren, but let's enjoy the next few weeks of this fantastically hot, humid, heat wave weather. Anyway, thanks again. I'll see you in my next video.